Hi everyone, it's Evangeline here at etrailer, and today we'll be taking a look at the Hollywood Rack's Destination 2-Bike Platform Rack right here on our 2019 Honda Accord. So the Hollywood Rack's Destination is going to be one of your lightest, most compact bike racks. So if you're looking for something that you can store even inside of the trunk of your vehicle, this is going to be a good option for you. You have the stability of a platform rack without the extra weight or even the premium price you usually expect of platform racks. So we'll take a look at some of its features, some of its measurements, some of its specs, but we'll focus on the Honda Accord. That way you can see if this is going to be the best fit for you and your vehicle and your bikes. So the first thing we'll talk about is the tilt-away feature, which this does not have. So if you want to open up your trunk, it is going to depend on what type of bike you have. With ours, we kind of have longer handlebars. So you can see here that we just barely do not have enough clearance. What we would need to do is take the bike off since this does not tilt away. One option that you might consider if you really want that tilt-away feature would be the Swagman Schnook. That sits a little bit further out too, and then you are able to open up the trunk. Just an option for you. Let's talk about what type of bikes you can carry with this bike rack. Notice how we have our bike on here. We have 3 touch points. So we have our front, we have our rear wheel straps. So those are holding everything down. And then you also have your frame mount. This is a unique design, not usually seen on bike racks like these. Regular bikes have the hook that come down and secure the bike by the top frame. In our case, whether you have a step-through bike, a children's bike, or a women's bike, this is going to make it just a little bit more convenient for you when you want to carry your bike. And then you don't have to lift it too high up over. This does have a 35-pound weight capacity, so that's going to be the max weight of your bikes anyways. When you want to take your bike off, though, you start by the straps. So see how we have this lever here? You want to press that lever, lift up on the straps, and just kind of swing it over to the side. That way it doesn't get caught up in your spokes when you take your bike off. So 1 and 2. Now we have our frame mount. So we're going to do the same thing, but this time try to figure out how you're going to hold onto your bike as you press that button, and then you release it. So let's go there. Once that's out of the way, you can then just grab your bike and just bring it a little bit over your mast, and you are ready to go on a bike ride. So I'm going to set this bike over to the side. That way we can take a closer look at our bike rack. So with the bike off, you can now open up your trunk. There we go. Full clearance there. We have a good amount of space now around our trunk. Helpful that we have a short mast. That way that gives us even a little bit more clearance. We're going to drop this down, put that there. And then if you need even more clearance, you can drop the mast too. It's a little bit of a process, but it's technically simple once you figure it out. You're going to turn this knob just enough where you can lift the stand up and out of the way, then tighten that knob back down. And once that's tightened down, you can then swing this mast down. Depending on where you have your different mounts and stuff, it's going to make it easier or more difficult for you to secure it. There we go. So you have different options here. I actually like to use the cradle strap to secure everything. In fact, let's talk about that. We have these wings which work as our cradle. You can tilt your straps back and forth through different wheelbases. The maximum wheelbase you can carry with this is up to 48 inches. You have a strap on, or you have a cushion on your strap. As this goes around your wheel, that cushion is going to give you a little bit more grip, but also cushion to protect those wheels. My personal recommendation is please put your straps back into your receivers even when your bikes are not on the way there. That way they're not flopping around as you drive around. We're also going to put the frame mount strap in. This frame mount can rotate up and down and move side to side and even around depending on the size of your frames, and also secures with that strap. Okay, this is going to be a compact bike rack. How compact? Well, let's take some measurements. Measuring from our bumper on our Accord to the end of the bike rack by these nice plastic reflectors, it sits at 26 inches of length. So definitely on the portable side, helpful just to maintain the portability of your Honda Accord. As for the ground clearance, that's going to be measured at the center here, 20 inches. But it does sit a little bit further down here at the end of the wings, and that's 15.5 inches. So your hitch actually has about 10 inches of ground clearance measured at the bottom of your hitch. So you can see how this has a slight shank rise depending on where your bike sit, of course. And that's going to be helpful when you have those steep inclines and your bike sit higher up off the ground. With this being so short though, it's probably not going to be as big of a deal. In fact, you're going to see this more with how high do you have to lift your bikes up. This is a really good middle of the road height. Now, when you want to make this a bit more compact, or if you want to store this inside of your trunk, you can put this in the portable position. So again, a little bit of a process, but simple once you figure it out. We have a clip here. Take that clip out and then rotate this knob all the way out. And this is a threaded bolt. So you're just going to let that dangle there because it has a string. And you're going to pop that bolt back in and then tighten it down. So the fortunate part about this being threaded is then we don't have any movement in the upright position. The downside is it's going to take a little bit of extra time, just about a minute or so, but different compared to the levers some other bike racks have, like the Swagman Schnook. Okay, this is going to pop right in there to secure it, and then let's take some more measurements with it folded up like this. Our measurement for closest point is we have a lot of distance from our bumper to our frame mount, and that's 4.5 inches there, so plenty of clearance. In fact, I'm curious about, do we have clearance to open up our trunk? Yes, we do. So that's really nice to see. Even with the bike rack sitting behind your vehicle up like this, you can still open up your trunk, which is great. Length now added to the back of our car is from the bumper to our assembly about 12 inches, so 1 foot. So definitely doesn't take up much space. That's going to be helpful when you store this in your garage or in your vehicle. What is it like living with a bike rack behind you? Well, as you can see, our rear window is completely visible. Our taillights sit right up above where the bike rack sits, so that's good. And as you look straight on, you can see even our license plate and our backup camera is visible too. You are going to see the bike rack behind you, but you'll also be able to see the vehicles behind you too. If that's a big deal though, you can go ahead and drive around with this in the down position, no problem at all, since it doesn't take up much space. Let's talk about how this fits into our hitch. So our Honda Accord today has the 1.25 inch hitch receiver, which kind of diminishes our options for bike racks. Fortunately, the Hollywood Racks Destination has an 1.25 inch shank. It also includes a 2-inch hitch adapter if you have a 2-inch hitch receiver on your car. This pops right into that hitch and it tightens down with an anti-rattle bolt. We also have a lock here just to help things stay secure. Now, what I use is a 3/4 inch socket and a wrench. If you want, you could pick up an extra one of these. We have these at etrailer, and you can just store them inside of your trunk for when you need to remove or loosen your bike rack. But with that tightened down, that threads that bolt in there and creates an anti-rattle effect. So let's demonstrate how that works out. So I'm going to do a quick shake test here. As I shake our bike rack, let's see, especially by the side, by the shank, notice how there's really no movement. I can't really shake the car here, but it's a nice secure fit. You can also see how important that threaded bolt is there to reduce movement for your bikes overall. Compared to other bikes that just use a hitch pin, you can see here how this can be a smoother ride for your bikes. Okay, so my personal thoughts about the Hollywood Rack's destination is, if you are looking for practicality or versatility, I would actually recommend the Swagman Schnook. That one has a 45-pound weight capacity and is made of steel, so it's a bit more durable, a bit more sturdy. But if your focus is something lightweight, compact, but also stylish, I really like the look of the Hollywood Rack's destination. It does check off all the boxes though, as well, in terms to keeping things secure, being able to lock things down, making sure your bikes have a nice stable platform. So definitely check out the different videos we have here at eTrailer. You can go over what makes you feel better for your different bikes and your different adventures. But right here, right now, this was a look at the Hollywood Rack's destination 2-bike platform rack on our 2019 Honda Accord. My name is Evangeline, and I hope you enjoyed the journey.